Hare Krishna. So we'll start with this bhajan. Jai Radha Madhava. Srila Prabhupada once said in a lecture that this bhajan is like a window to the spiritual world. It has Krishna, it has gopis, it has Krishna's mother and everything, Yamuna river. So it is a window to the spiritual world. It's just like a trailer to a movie. So we'll start. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari Radhe. Jaya Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari Radhe. श्री श्री राधा गिरधारी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Oh, thank you, bro. Hare Krishna. So, Dravida Prabhu is not well, so let us pray to Shri Shri Radha Giridhari that soon he recovers and he is back. So I think as per the bookmark, it is chapter 2, 23rd verse. So maybe we will read this verse and also we'll have more question answers. We'll not go very long in this. We'll just try to understand the translation and purport. Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha na chainam kledayanti apo na soshyati marutaha nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha na chainam kledayanti po na soshyasati maruta. Would anyone like to chant? Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha na chainam kledayanti apo na soshayati marutaha. Solve problem. 23rd. Mataji. Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavaka na chainam kledayantapo na shoshayati maruta. Yes, all true. Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha na chainam kledayanti po na soshyati maruta. Na, never. Enam, this soul. Chindanti, can cut to pieces. Shastrani, weapons. Na, never. Enam, this soul. Dahati, burns. Pavaka, fire. Na, never. Cha, also. Enam, this soul. Kledayanti, moistens. Apa, water. Na, never. Soshayati, dries. Maruta, wind. Please repeat after me. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All kinds of weapons, so this is the purport, all kinds of weapons, swords, flame weapons, rain weapons, tornado weapons, etc. are unable to kill the spirit soul. It appears that there are many kinds of weapons made of earth, water, air, ether, etc. In addition to the modern weapons of fire. Even the nuclear weapons of the modern ages are classified as fire weapons, but formerly there were other weapons made of different types of material elements. Fire weapons are counteracted by water weapons, which are now unknown to modern science. Nor do modern scientists have knowledge of tornado weapons. In any case, the soul can never be cut into pieces or otherwise annihilated by any kind of weapon. The Mayavadi cannot explain how the individual soul came into existence simply by ignorance and consequently become covered by the illusory energy. Nor was it ever possible to cut the individual soul from the original Supreme Soul. Rather, the individual souls are eternally separated parts of the Supreme Soul. Because they are atomic individual souls eternally, Sanatan, they are prone to be covered by the illusory energy, and thus they become separated from the association of the Supreme Lord. Just as the sparks of a fire, although one in quality with the fire, are prone to be extinguished when out of the fire. In the Varaha Purana, the living entities are described as separated parts and parcel of the Supreme. They are eternally so, according to the Bhagavad Gita also. So even after being liberated from illusion, the living entity remains a separate identity, as is evident from the teachings of Lord to Arjuna. Arjuna became liberated by the knowledge received from Krishna, but he never became one with Krishna. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishnam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brinda Vaneshwari Vrishbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamam vande Shri Guru Deen Taranam. Hare Krishna, we welcome all of you to our regular Bhagavad Gita studies by Dravida Prabhu. So, we have read today from verse 23 of chapter 2. It talks about the soul, that the soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burnt by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. So here Krishna is telling Arjuna the qualities of the soul, right? How the soul is. So it cannot be cut, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be moistened, it cannot be withered by the wind. So if we go a little back, just a quick summary of what happened previously. We understand from the Bhagavad Gita it is based on the 5 subject matters, right? What are the 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita? The soul, yes. Yeah, you can take the microphone. Yes, Jiva, so that Jiva is the soul. That is one subject matter of Bhagavad Gita.
Purusha.
Purusha means the supreme soul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to pass around or should I say?
Yeah, anyone else wants to? Okay. Yes, Mataji. Ishvara. So one is the Jiva, the souls that who we are, and God, Ishvara, who God is. Then what else?
Prakriti.
Prakriti means this material nature, this world, how it is designed, why it is designed.
And when I said Purusha, I guess actually that would be Ishvara. I don't think.
Yeah, maybe so Param Purusha you meant.
Yeah. So.
Okay, third is, so first is the soul.
Then Kala and Karma.
Then Ishvara, God. Then material nature. And then time. And then karma or the actions. Right? So these are the 5 different subject matters of the Bhagavad Gita. And if you link all of them together, we can understand that how we as living entities, when we are separated from the Supreme Lord, from God, when we are separated, then how we get entangled in karma, under the influence of time, and create karma, good karma or bad karma, in this material world, in this Prakriti. So that is how you can link, all of them together, all these subjects. So in the beginning, as we know that Arjuna, who is a dear friend of Krishna, he was in crisis. He didn't know whether to fight or not to fight. And he told Krishna that, I am in a crisis situation, I don't know what to do. So just like Arjuna is in the crisis, all of us also go through this crisis in our lives, whether it is through health, through finances, or through, job or relationship or whatever, different kind of issues we go through. So just like Arjuna, we are also in crisis. And what Arjuna did is, he took shelter of Krishna. He said, Krishna, I am in a confusion whether I should fight or not, because the opposite party, they are my cousins, my grandfathers, my teachers. So I am confused, I am bewildered. So he said, Karpanya dosho pahata sabhava. He said, let me take shelter of you, my dear Krishna. I am now your surrendered disciple. And then Krishna, in the 2nd chapter, he begins answering the question of Arjuna, that how he can get out of this bewilderment. And he starts with the knowledge of the soul, So, and in this chapter there are lot of subject matters explained, that is the content of the Gita summarized, and one of them is the soul. And later, it talks about the mind and senses, attachment, and so many different things. So in this chapter, it is all summarized. So basically, Krishna is teaching Arjuna in this verse about the soul. What is the soul? So, as we know from scientific perspective also, right? So a lot of people might not believe in the soul. They may say, "Oh, I don't believe in the soul. We are just made up of a lump of, flesh or bones or blood, and so many different things. Why do you think that we have consciousness or we have soul?" So if you are, I'm sure all of you are from science background. All of us are have studied science. So if you look at this scientific community also, then there are a lot of researches that are done within the scientific community which proves the existence of the soul. I was in Atlanta a few years back, and there is an Emory hospital there, and there is a doctor. His name is Michael Sabom. He's an emergency room doctor. So all these, weird cases who, the car hit the tree or they crashed into each other, and the drivers are just about to die. All those people come into those emergency rooms. And he has written a book about near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences that he has himself seen. He's just a doctor, and he has written that as a doctor only. So he has witnessed so many cases where there have been out-of-body experiences where the patients have experienced those things and they have explained to him. So if you are interested, you can read those books and see how Bhagavad Gita relates to it, to make your faith more stronger. There is Dr. Ian Stevenson, who has researched like more than 3,000 cases of reincarnation, not only in America but all over the world. And there are so many other, scientific proofs also for the existence of soul. And then now we are reading in the scriptures also that yes, the soul does exist in the Bhagavad Gita. So, and Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, he gives very nice examples of the soul. He says just like even in the Bhagavad Gita is given, just like you change the dress. Suppose my dress is old, I just throw away this dress. I need a new dress. So similarly, when this body becomes old, if you become old, all the bones are like, not very strong, or the skin is just, wrinkling and it is not good. Then what happens? The dress is old. So soul goes into another body based on the desire. So whatever we do in this life based on our desire, the soul takes on a new body. So it is very logical also. And when we were child, we still had that consciousness. We still remember a few things of our childhood, but our bodies are changing, right? The science says that every 7 years, all your cells are replenished, right? New cells you get. The body is basically changing all the time. But what is that one thing that is always there within us? What is that living spark, consciousness, that, that we can, even when we are old, like when I was like 20 years old, and now I am, much older than that, but I still feel like I'm 20 years old, The consciousness is like, if you ask a 70-year-old person, he doesn't think he's 70 years old. Although his body might have deteriorated, but he still feels that, that freshness within. That is because of the soul, because the soul is ever fresh. Is it true for all of you? Do you believe that? Have you experienced that? So the soul is like that because the soul is constant. It is always fresh. It is always, it wants to be happy, and it always is youthful because it is the reason why the soul wants to be happy is because it is part and parcel of the supreme happy person, Satchidananda. Because God is all happy, Krishna is all happy. That is why the soul always wants to be happy. That is the nature of the soul. So, and when the soul comes into contact with different modes of material nature, when we come in contact with goodness, passion and ignorance, it gets entangled into these things, and it creates karma, it does good things or bad things, and it suffers basically. I mean, soul doesn't suffer, but as part of our actions and reactions, we are covered with the mind also, mind and intelligence. So we can think, so this is the body. Within the body, you can think about mind as the storehouse of all the thoughts, whatever experiences we are seeing, the mind is storing all those things. Then there is intelligence, and then there is, ego and soul, like that it is there. So the mind and intelligence, basically, they get illusioned by whatever is happening to us in this lifetime, and there would be challenges. Whatever we do in this world, there will be challenges. There will be problems. Whoever we are, we have to face problems. But problems are actually a good opportunity for us to grow. If we look at it that way. So I was in Muir Woods. I was telling this example. In this summer, we went for a family, road trip to San Francisco. So Muir Woods is like 20 minutes north of Golden Gate Bridge. So when we went there, so there were nice, redwood forests, trees were there, and there were some park rangers there, and also there was a board placard which mentioned the benefits of forest fire. So I was reading through that. What it said is that the forest fire is actually beneficial for the forest. How it is beneficial? Because there is a canopy of all these trees which cover the, on the top, due to which the sunshine cannot come to the ground. And due to that, the new seeds or the new trees cannot germinate, cannot sprout. And when there is fire, there are acorns. So the fire actually burns the acorns, and within the acorn there is a seed. And after the fire, the seed comes out, it falls on the ground, and it starts germinating, sprouting. And it also clears, the fire clears the duff. I asked the park ranger, what is the duff? So he said, duff is like, you have that old leaves that are lying there for years, right? And dust and all those things. So once it gets burnt, it actually gives path, it clears away the main ground where the soil is there, so that the seeds can actually go into the soil and they can germinate. So seeming difficulties in this world can be opportunities for us to grow, if we take in the right spirit, and we grow from that. So that's a good example. And while we are, dealing with these problems, our mind, right? The mind also can be difficult to control sometimes. So I want to give another example of, I went to Vrindavan, India. It's near New Delhi. It's 2 hours from. Who has been to Vrindavan? Okay, nice. So in Vrindavan, there are a lot of monkeys. And they say that the Vrindavan monkeys are very mischievous. What they do is they take away your glasses. And so I was just walking with my family, and one monkey came and he took away my glass. And he took to the, there were like electricity lines that were running. He jumped on that, and he was sitting there. And he was looking at me. And I was just looking at him, and I don't know what to say to him. I don't know his language. He doesn't know my language. So there was one shopkeeper nearby, and he said, you take this pack of juice, it's like here you get Tetra packs, right, of juice. You take this and flip it over to the monkey, and the monkey will catch it, and he will release your eyeglasses. I said, all right. So I paid the shopkeeper some money, and he gave me the Tetra pack. And I was actually very careful, because just below the electricity line, there was a sewage line running. And if you don't know how the sewage in India is, I don't want to explain that. It's really dirty. And I was scared if it falls into the sewage, what will happen? So I was really careful. I was just standing just to hold it. So I asked the shopkeeper to throw that pack. He threw it on top, and immediately the monkey has to catch it, right? So he has to release the glasses so that he can catch the Tetra pack. So he just released the glasses. He caught the Tetra pack. So I just caught the glasses, fortunately. So this is a very good example where we can learn that if we give a higher taste to ourselves, because we want to engage in some activity, right? But if we engage in something higher, param drishtva nivartate, right? Then, and we focus on those things, then basically the things that are unwanted will go away, right? So mind needs engagement. So if we engage in positive things, if we focus on good things, what I'm doing, when I'm doing, focused on those things which are positive, which helps us, then it actually creates more happiness, and it aligns the mind in the direction where we want to. So Krishna, also mentions that Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kangshati. So, every time, most of the time, we are lamenting either for the past or hankering for the future, right? But that will not really be making us happy. So, Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kangshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labate param. So yes, it is important to learn from our past mistakes, and yes, we have to plan for the future to some extent. But at the same time, we have to see how much we have to, focus on those things. But we also have the present. The present is a present which you can present to yourself at present, right? So it's a gift. And when we take shelter of Krishna, we engage, in nice kirtan, in nice eating nice prasadam, engaging in reading scriptures, dancing, focusing on our duties, services. Then it makes us happy. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us example, just like a teacher in a kindergarten class. Probably teacher is much more educated, but just to teach the child how to write, she is also writing. She doesn't need to write, but just to give an example to the child, she is writing. So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to teach us how to be a devotee. How to be exemplary in our character, in our sadhana. So he has come and he has given us this beautiful process. And his process, I would put it in a nutshell of 4S. I also live in 4S ranch, so that's a 4S is also very close to me. 4S, first S means sadhana. Sadhana means your spiritual practices, right? Spiritual practice is whatever sadhana you are doing, you are reading, we are reading Bhagavad Gita, it's a part of spiritual practice. And chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is sadhana. And then second is sadachar. Sadachar means achar, good character. So unless we have good character, then we can't really make much spiritual progress, right? We have to be exemplary. We will live with integrity and honesty, with good character, exemplary character. So, and then sadhana, sadachar, satsang. Satsang is good association. So, good association is considered as very important thing. It is said that a fire rod, right? When you put in fire, it acquires the quality of fire. So there is chamber of commerce, there is stock market. People who are interested in stocks, they associate with people in stocks, so they will learn about stocks. If you want to learn music, go to a music class. If you want to learn Bhagavad Gita, come to Bhagavad Gita class. So whatever you associate with, you will become in some time, right? So I can tell you who you are by a few of your friends whom you associate with or you spend maximum time with. So that is association, right? And same is for hearing. Nowadays we have YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and what else? Threads. Now Facebook has released a competitor to Twitter, which is now X. Twitter is retermed as X by Elon Musk. Do you know that? And its competitor by Facebook is Threads. So many posts are coming there. And if you go to see a nice, post by our Guru Maharaj or Srila Prabhupada or picture of Radha Girdhari, so you see that and then you scroll down, something weird is there, something totally opposite. Right? You get distracted and you realize, oh, what am I doing? Isn't it? Has it happened to you? Raise your hands. Right? There's so much of distraction nowadays. So although we might try to get good association, but still there is distraction. So this is what this current age is, Kali Yuga. So we have to be very, very careful. Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna consciousness is like a razor's edge. A razor can clean shave you, as well as if you are not careful, it can also cut you. So we have to be very careful how we associate and what we are doing, what we are hearing, what we are listening, what we are reading, because all of those things will have impact on our mind. right? And when it has impact on the mind, it will also impact the decision-taking ability of the intelligence. And when we take those decisions, that will actually create our destiny, right? Because based on that, we are doing some actions. Whatever reading, hearing, it goes to the mind, intelligence, then you act, and based on your action, it will create your destiny in the future. Whatever we have done in the past, it has created our destiny right now. Right? It is a free will, our free choice that is there, that okay, I want to attend a Bhagavad Gita class, so we are here, and then it is creating a good destiny for us. Right? For example, somebody is a smoker. He has the free will whether to smoke the next cigarette or not, isn't it? He has the free will. He can't say, oh, it's my destiny to smoke. No, you do have a free will. But if you keep smoking, then your destiny will be you might run into some problems, some health issues. If you're lucky, you may not, but most of the time you do. So we create our own destiny by where we are. But once we take some decision, then we cannot change it. For example, if we take a ticket from here to Colorado, right? So you have a choice whether to book the ticket or not, whether you want to go in a business class or a economy class. But once you board the plane, you have no choice. Right? You are going to Colorado. But within the flight, yes, you might have choice whether you want to sleep or you want to, fight with your neighbor or, or whatever you want to do. So, but destination is fixed. So, how much time we have? 8:10? Okay. So, yes.
Could you say more about this? You said it was sadhana was a practice.
Sadhana, yeah.
One more time. Yeah. Hi, my name's Julian. I just had a quick question. So there's like 5 things you mentioned that were important.
4 things.
4 things. So the sadhana is
sadhana is spiritual practice.
It could be reading or chanting, and then the second one was character.
Yeah, sadachar. Sadachar means good character, achar.
Oh, just like really just kind
good
of
character, like living with integrity, honesty, and also being exemplary.
Mm-hmm. And the third one was
sadhana, sadachar, satsang.
Satsang.
Satsang means good association. Sat means true, and sangha means association, good association.
Okay, good. Just good relationships with people.
Yeah, with good people.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right, because you become the people.
You become the
hang
people.
out.
Yeah. So whoever you want to become, you can associate. It's your choice.
Okay. And what was the final one?
Final. I think I didn't say that.
Oh, sorry.
Final.
I apologize.
No, thanks for reminding. Actually, it's my fault. So thanks for reminding.
It's really good though. Thank you so much for speaking. I appreciate it.
So last one is seva. Seva means service. So when we do service, we humble ourselves. So like in the temple, we are there. So a lot of devotees are cooking for the deities. They are cutting vegetables, right? Or maybe washing pots or cleaning the temple, or maybe even hearing Bhagavad Gita. That's a seva. That's a service to Krishna. Like all of us are hearing. That's a service. Or I am speaking. This is also service. And it's not like one service is better than the other. It's not like that I am speaking, I am better than you. It's not like that. For Krishna, it's the same. Krishna is like bhavgrahi janardana. Krishna is looking at your intention. What is your intention that you are hearing or speaking? Is it truly to improve yourself? Is it truly to progress in the spiritual path? Then yes, Krishna is very much pleased with that. So doing some action, that is why this whole process is called devotional service, where we do some act for someone whom we love. So suppose I say that I love you, or I want to be a very good friend. I just keep saying that, but we don't reciprocate with each other. We don't do anything for each other. Then it doesn't really make a good friendship. So in order to strengthen that bond, it is important that there is an interaction, there is action between two people, right? So similarly, between Krishna, God, and all of us as the Jiva and the Ishwar, it is important that there is some bonding. So there are different ways of doing that. That is, how we establish that relationship. So that's why this temple, we have so many different things, so many activities, services are there. Starting from 4:30 in the morning, you come and dance in the kirtan, you chant the holy names, you do arti, and then there is Srimad Bhagavatam class, you hear about it, and you apply in your life. Like, I am actually a software engineer, cyber security architect, and all these things have helped me tremendously. Like chanting or Srimad Bhagavatam, the lessons that I learn. I actually apply all those things in my job life also. How my relationship with my manager, with my peers, because there are challenges everywhere. Whether you do job or business, people will try to pull your leg. You have to suffer failures. You have to suffer layoffs. Now layoffs are coming in October. A lot of companies are going to lay off. Right? Qualcomm is one of the companies. They announced clearly, we are going to lay off on October 15th. And everybody is scared. But Bhagavad Gita has that answer. Bhagavatam has those answers, how to deal with those situations, difficult situations. Because we tend to associate ourselves, identify ourselves with that job. Oh, I am a software engineer only. And if I lose that position, I'm gone. Let me get depressed. Let me get, do something wrong. So this tells that we are the soul. We are not the software engineer. That is just one of the designations to earn some money to eat, live, and it's just one thing. But you are actually the spirit soul. And if we realize that whatever difficult situation we have in life, we will never be troubled by that. We'll always be steady and work towards progress, slowly and steadily, whatever is best for us. So yes, there would be challenges, but Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they teach us how to handle those crises, how to get out of those difficult situations. And that is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. So, I also suffered from layoff during COVID time. So many companies laid so many people. But just on the strength, and I can attest to that, just on the strength of this knowledge, it helped me so much to focus my mind. I had a very good schedule of exercise, chanting, and preparing for the interviews and everything, that within a month I was able to crack like 7 job offers, and from top companies, Fortune 500 companies. So I gave all the credit to this knowledge. And at the same time, a lot of people, they lost their stability. And there are so many examples where people do some, extreme things. They become, when they face difficulties, they go to extremes, which is not good. So yes, this knowledge teaches us all these things. When we become happy, we try to, enjoy that situation, be complacent, be comfortable. But when there is difficult situation, we try to, be too much worried about it. And why is this happening to me? Why did it happen to you or us? So yes, this knowledge is really, really powerful, and if utilized correctly, it can actually give you happiness, peace of mind, and the supreme perfection of life, And it all starts with realizing we are the soul. So whatever way you want to understand, logically, scientifically, scripturally, everything Krishna has explained in this chapter. So I would also leave some time for questions. I wanted to have you ask few things. Yes, Prabhu. Can you give mic?
You had mentioned that you do the sadhana practice in the morning as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel that doing it in the morning and then teaching at night multiple times a day versus or multiple times a week versus maybe once or twice, does that give you, is that like doing more push-ups? Or, you know what I mean? You're getting more spiritual strength. You're doing squats or deadlifts kind of. Do you feel like when you do more of that, you feel more Krishna consciousness? Or
Very nice question. What's your name?
Julian.
Julian, thank you for asking that. Do you go to gym?
I try. I try.
Looks like, okay. Yeah. Because you're telling, that's a good example you told about squats and all. So yeah, it's same thing. It's basically the same concept. So if you do exercise in gym for some time and you leave it, what happens to the body? You know that, right? It's not that strong.
Yeah.
It fades away. So similarly, same thing is for spiritual practices. But there is one difference also. But to answer a question, yes, like we do every day, like in the morning we all chant the names of Krishna. So you can see this Hare Krishna Mahamantra that is there. We chant that. It's a mantra meditation technique. Mantra means mantra. It basically protects the mind, because the whole day all garbage is going to come into our mind, when we go out or see something, read something. So it basically provides a protective covering. Your mind becomes peaceful and very happy when you chant this mantra, because this is not an ordinary sound vibration, This is a transcendental spiritual world's vibration. So when you chant this, your mind becomes peaceful and you focus on each and every word. Slowly you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. These transcendental vibe, even you don't understand the meaning, still you will get benefit. But if you can understand, that is fine. So you chant this. If you chant just, one round of it will take 5 to 10 minutes. You start with just 10 minutes of this meditation. And it gives you that strength, basically. And then, yes, in the evening you can read scriptures and get more conviction for your intelligence, how to deal these situations and to understand this knowledge. So yes, both of them actually strengthen the spiritual muscle, I would say. And the more you do it, yes, the more you progress. So for example, Mukund Charan Prabhu, right? He's like a resident monk here. So whole day they are engaged in, chanting, reading, kirtan, dancing, and, all these service for the Lord, book distribution, so many different activities, planning festivals. So they are always Krishna conscious, 24 hours a day. Saul Prabhu is there. He also is a resident monk. He stays here. So yes, the more you do it, obviously, the more spiritual muscle will be built.
Right. So, so in the is it similar, this sadhana practice now? Is it different than the morning one? I'm just wondering. Maybe I'm getting like the steering wheel here, and I'm missing like the engine and the transmission in the morning. Like, am I missing?
Prabhu, you want to explain that?
He was asking, is it different to do it sadhana in the morning versus the evening?
Oh.
He's doing this evening program. What is it? Is that a substitute for the morning program, or does he need to do both to get the full?
Yeah. It's good to do them. In the morning we chant. You can chant in the evening also. Like after reading this, if you have that beads, you can go home and do that also. It's not like it's good to do in the morning, but if you cannot, then you can do in the evening also, that practice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I think Prabhu can explain you more after the class about that chanting. So you can maybe, But thank you, Julian, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Can you share something more about you? Are you a student, or what do you do? What do you work?
I've done accounting. I'm currently unemployed.
Oh, I see.
I've done like other spiritual practices before. Like
Yeah.
last year I did like presbytery.
Can you give mic to him, Prabhu?
Yeah. I just have free time. I've been unemployed for a while. I worked at like an audit firm.
I see.
They probably would hire you if you. Everyone's leaving in droves, but right now I'm just kind of focusing on this Hare Krishna stuff, because I met a few people in the past few years that did it, and they just seemed extremely happy. And previously I had gone to like Christian churches, and I had done like various other Eastern meditation things, which are like totally different than this. Like I did like some Tibetan Buddhism, which was just different than this. I did like Zen meditation, which was different. And then I did, last year I did like a lot of Calvinism, Protestant Christianity, which was good for work, but it was just missing some of the joy, I guess. I just didn't get that. Like you guys have an abundance of that for some reason. So I was very attracted to trying this. But But yeah, I'm just doing that, and it's definitely helpful. So
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
It helps in all the ways. It helps you in material as well as spiritually, in all aspects, because Krishna takes care of you nicely in every way.
And I guess my only other question is when I did the Protestant Christianity last year, there was the Methodism, and then there was the Presbyterianism, and then there's like the Mormonism, and then is there like a lot of different versions of like Hare Krishna? I mean, because then I said, oh, maybe I should do this Hanuman thing I just found this past weekend. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm in the wrong place. I got to go to Hanuman Temple, whereas that's in New Mexico. Maybe I should be there. And so I'm definitely confused about it, but I feel like this is a good spot. So
I think you're at the right spot. If you see at the back, you can see that picture. Ram is the Lord of Hanuman, Ram and Sita. And Krishna is actually coming as Ram. So, yes, in the Vedic tradition, there are different gods, demigods are there. But what we are studying is the eternal religion from Bhagavad Gita. So in this, everything is encompassed. It's just like watering the root of the tree. So you may talk about if you water the twigs, the flowers, the branches, they may not get nourished. But if you water the root, everything will be nourished, right? So if you worship Krishna or Ram, then Hanuman is automatically happy, right? So basically we are watering the root. And this Bhagavad Gita, what you are seeing is the largest read Bhagavad Gita on planet Earth. Over 500 million copies in 80 different languages, including Braille. And we have like over 108 centers all over the world, 200 farm communities, vegetarian restaurants, and schools, for kids. So it has actually changed the life of a lot of people. So yes, whatever you are saying, it is all encompassed into these teachings. Everything is, so you'll get benefit of worshipping Hanuman and everyone else also.
Right. I heard like Steve Jobs did it, and then
Steve Jobs. Yes.
I think the heir to the Ford company.
Yes.
And then there's like the Beatles guy.
The Beatles, John Lennon. They have a nice big temple in London, in the countryside. That is Bhaktivedanta Manor. Actually, one devotee visited today morning from London. So he spoke in the morning, and yes, and we have Alfred Ford. He's the great grandson of Henry Ford. So he was the disciple of Srila Prabhupada.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he was like first time he came to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada asked, "Where is Henry Ford?" And because his voice is so pure that it struck him, that where is he? You don't know. So he surrendered his life to Srila Prabhupada, and he obviously other teachings also he saw, and so he's building a very big temple for him based on his instructions in India. It's like world's largest temple. It has like Vedic planetarium. How the universe is, all the planets are arranged, and how the sun, moon, how they move based on the scriptural evidence, which science has not discovered yet. So it is going to be the world's largest planetarium.
Right. Yeah, I just met a Vedic astrologer. He told me the book, so I'm like, I got to read this one first. So
this is I mean, if you read this, it encompasses all the astrology, astronomy, everything. It talks about some part of it here, like how we leave the body, day or night, which time is good, bad, or talks about those things. But
thank you.
So you are at the right place, and you should be confident that you will get all the knowledge in this book. And you visited this temple, so you'll get everything. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we have 5 minutes, so any more? Hare Krishna.
I think we usually have the second half clearing up religion, and maybe you could ask.
Yeah, I was just going to make a couple of quick comments.
Okay.
You mentioned the gym, Prabhu. Thank you for the class, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to relate it a little bit. So the term muscle memory. So essentially, we're trying to develop, Krishna memory. So we want to develop. So the more that we practice, the more that we're going to recall his pastimes, the more that we're going to, his qualities. We're gonna want to. We're trying to develop our own consciousness and our own qualities to mirror the Lord's. Because he has the most. He has he's the strongest. He's the wealthiest. He's the most beautiful. Et cetera, et cetera. So we're trying to develop that Krishna conscious memory. But I also wanted to make another. You were talking about science corroborating the understanding that the Bhagavad Gita is teaching us that the soul is eternal. Similarly, it's stated that matter can never be created nor destroyed, and it's corroborating what is that Satchitananda, that it's eternal, our soul is eternal, that these weapons cannot harm our soul is never ending. So I just wanted to provide that little bit of information. Anyway, Hare Krishna. Thank you for the class.
Okay, so I think maybe after Aarti we can talk more. Yeah, we can talk outside. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Thank you for patiently hearing and discussing. Hare Krishna.